Welcome to the Brick Film Panel. My name is Barbecue Brick Film Productions.
And I am ETR Films, and we are bringing you a quality brick film podcast every fortnight from the land down under.
And we hope you enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Brick Film Panel, a fortnightly podcast all about brick filming. I'm Barbecue Brick Film Productions.
And I am ETR Films. Hey.
And we'll be your hosts for each episode of this podcast and see how long it lasts.
Yeah, hopefully more than 3 episodes.
I don't know about that, but we'll just take it as it comes.
Sure. Alright. So for those who don't know what this podcast is, or you just joined us, it's about brick films. That's all you need to know.
We do have a structure for each episode, just to keep things a bit more structured, obviously.
Most of the time.
So pretty much it will have 4 different segments in each episode. The first segment will be a topic chat about things in the brick film community or things about brick filming. This episode will be talking about how visual effects are used in brick films, and also we'll ask a question: do brick films need to be made only for kids?
Yeah.
So the second segment, we will not actually have in this episode. It's, this is just a pilot episode, but in future episodes we will have this, where we'll pretty much interview a creator and talk to them about their new brick film.
Yep. He's right. And then...
yeah, you can go on to the next 2.
The fourth topic is us talking about our brick films and just updating on how we're going. So, yeah.
And the was that the third or the fourth?
That was the fourth one.
Okay, that means we've got 5 segments then.
Hang on. If the introduction counts as one, sure.
No, the introduction doesn't count as a segment.
Maybe it does.
Well, it doesn't now.
You got to include everything. You can't just exclude.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the fifth. Oh, I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna go. The last topic is the brick film reviews. We're gonna review probably about 3 or more. Go into detail, and
you'll look at the cinematography, the animation, the story, pretty much everything in each of these brick films. Yeah. This.
Mine. But anyway.
So this episode will be reviewing 3 brick films. The brick films we'll be reviewing, the first one is a Clone Training Center by Fancy Pants, the classic Clone Training Center.
So good. I love that.
Next one is the Lego Cryptic Epistle, a mystery short in 4K by Remnant Media. This one was released a couple of months ago, I think, and it's really good. So we'll be reviewing that later in the episode. And the last video we'll be reviewing is Lego Batman Shadows of the Night Episode 4 Finale by DT98 Films.
Yeah.
Which is, the final episode of his 4-part Batman series, which is a really good series.
So spoilers, everyone. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's start off with the first topic. I've just lost the document. Great. We'll start with this is a good question. With how visual effects are used in brick films, is it sometimes too much, or should it just be used to just keep it classic stop motion, no visual effects?
Well, what I like to do with my brick films, especially, is I like to think of visual effects as a tool to enhance a brick film, not define it in a way. Pretty much, if you have a brick film that is solely based on visual effects, you kind of lose the stop motion aspect of it.
You have a good point there.
But sometimes, when you don't use enough visual effects, it can look quite, bland.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing a Star Wars brick film and you're using Lego bits as a blaster bolt. I mean, it works at some points, especially if you're a beginner, but when you get more experience, people do expect some, decent visual effects.
Yeah. You could probably just easily draw one up on a free software.
I mean, you can do it frame by frame, I think, in Photoshop or GIMP if you can't afford Photoshop. Because that's what I did for one of my videos, Clone Shooting Range. So really with visual effects, I think you really need to be careful with how often you use them and the amount that you use, because it is possible to get carried away with visual effects. Sorry about that.
I'm one of those people who get very carried away. I think I rely on it way too much. So I'm afraid I'm going to say something, and I'm going to be really hypocritical. It's just like...
Yeah. I mean, I try not to use too many visual effects. Probably it's really time consuming, and just it does take a long time to really get the hang of. And if you do it wrong, then it does look quite subpar.
Yeah.
But I have seen some brick films that have amazing visual effects, but it just does not work with the brick film. There was one brick film I saw a while ago where these cars are driving down this road.
Yep.
And it could have easily been done in a stop motion, traditional stop motion form, but the creator decided to green screen it in. So the cars, it was really well done with the green screen, but it looked really fake because the cars were it looked like it was all 2D instead of 3D.
Yeah. Was that one where there was like one image only and the wheels weren't moving or anything? Or we got
I think the wheels were moving.
Yeah.
It was animated, but it was just the background was green screened in.
Oh, so you could tell it was.
You could tell because it didn't look like the vehicles were actually in the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's kind of when you need to draw the line that was a bit too much use of visual effects.
It's really hard to nail it unless you're really good at like matching the colors of the foreground and the background.
I mean, for the first episode of Heroes of the 501st, there were 2 scenes that were completely done in visual effects that had no animation at all. So the opening scene where the Republic cruiser are floating towards the planet, that was all done in After Effects. No animation involved. The cruiser was animated in After Effects. And the same thing, I did that with the Republic gunship flying over the forest. That was all animated in After Effects, and the trees and all that were green screened in. So sometimes it works, but most times, really.
I think you just gotta be careful. And I think what I'm gonna do actually with my bricks, I'm gonna try and start to use more traditional stop motion than visual effects, because I think I've overdone them in my last couple of brick films. I mean, the Doctor Strange trailer that I did a while back was very VFX heavy, and then the Batman one, I think, had too many visual effects, where you could tell it was very composite, and I think it's a good idea to start not relying on visual effects so much. I don't know.
Yeah. I think also another issue with using visual effects in brick films is that a lot of the brick films just use stock footage that looks like it's been placed very jarringly. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Is that like with explosions?
Yeah, the explosions that they feel like they're not part of the scene.
Yeah, I can see it.
Really, what I like to do with episode 2 for Heroes of the 501st, there will be a few scenes with visual effects, like blasters and all that. And I think that you need to make it look like that the visual effects are actually in the scene when you're shooting it.
Yeah,
but it
sure
really can.
I'm sure it'll turn out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to really spend a lot of time in visual effects if you are planning on using it.
Yeah.
I mean, with I think explosions are the most trickiest though.
Yeah. Especially finding the right explosion to go with the scene. I think that's the tricky part, at least for me.
Yeah. Unless you want to shell out, I think, $50 for a pack of stock footage.
Or you could just make it in Lego and see how that's.
True. I I have seen some people do that to great effect. I think was it Tom Sully that did it in his Rebrick contest?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it later.
Sullivan Cinema. Here we go. He changed his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it now. It's just
Quality animator, by the way. And plus he's Aussie.
yeah. I think it was him that used it, and it was really good. Well done. Like really well done.
I'm trying to think. I thought it was just a chase. I like the bit where the coin's flying in the air. That looks really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was it that did it then? There was someone that did it really well.
I mean,
with the
I kind of used a brick explosion, but I don't think it turned out great. That was the first time I did it.
Was that in your Rebrick one?
Yeah, Penguin Pursuit, I think, which was with Gabriel Films. That was fun to make.
How did you do it with like a collaborated video? Like,
also collaboration. We actually met up in December, and so we met before, so it was pretty cool. And then we came home and we animated it together. Like, we had 2 cameras animating different scenes at different times. So, yeah, that was really fun.
Did that work with the different animation styles though? That's the only question that I would have, you know.
Oh yeah, trying to match the same animation style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult.
Because I have seen some brick films that do. I think there was a Rogue One trailer that all these animators did. They filmed scenes of it.
Yeah.
And these were all great animators, but they all had their different styles. That it was so easy to tell that. Yeah.
Which ones did it?
And I think even though they were great animators, I think the video wasn't that good because of that. It should, you know, even though it was meant to be a collaborative video, but I think it would have looked more impressive if there wasn't different styles.
You're right, yeah.
And I think, really, collaborative videos should only be done when really you know that you want to either look, you know, have different animation styles, or if you want to just, if you do have the same animation style, I guess. I mean, look at Lone Clone Productions and Aubrey Studios 82. They both work on the Batman series, but only Jonathan animates it.
Yeah.
Sure, they could easily get out just as many episodes if Lone Clone would animate it, but I think they've got different styles of animation that it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. Still pretty good though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I think if you're working on a project, you do need to keep the animation style the same.
Yeah. I think
it's funny.
I did the Doctor Strange trailer recreation with a couple of other animators because it was getting really close towards the release, and I wanted to have it out before, so some offered to help, and then I think there's some points where you could tell this doesn't look like me, or maybe this looks like someone else. But yeah, I know how that feels. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how we went from visual effects talking all the way to collaborative videos.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this podcast will pretty much be
structured.
Structured, very structured.
Definitely not going off topic at all.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we move on to the next topic then?
Let's definitely move on.
So the next topic. Yeah.
So next topic. You suggested this one. Do brick films need to be made only for kids?
Yeah, I suggested this topic, because
yes, video.
Yeah, on my Twitter a few weeks ago, I actually asked the question: would you be fine with seeing a bit more mature brick films with more intense violence and even some swearing? And it was kind of split. I mean, some people wanted some more mature stuff, but other people wanted to keep it more suitable.
Yeah.
But I think these days, a lot of the films that that kids are seeing do have swearing in it and intense violence. I mean, I saw Kong Skull Island a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, that was great. I loved it.
I really am actually quite interested to see it.
It was really good.
It looks quite dumb, but it looks really fun.
Oh, it was amazing. The visual effects were really well done in that movie.
But yeah, back to Brick Films.
Yeah, so that movie did have some quite intense scenes of violence, and also did have some swearing. And in Australia, it was only given an M rating, which is the cutoff point. Which I noticed is M rating is where they kind of is the most mature films that they'll make Lego sets out of.
It's basically the PG-13 of
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we got Indiana Jones sets, and some of the stuff in those movies are not for kids.
No, I actually haven't seen most of the Indiana Jones movies. I've only seen a couple of scenes, and then I kind of forgot about them because I was little. So I need to watch that. But
they're great
stuff
movies.
in there like?
I don't want to give away spoilers. I mean, even though the film came out in the 80s or something, the first one.
That's fine.
It's just there is a scene where everyone's face is melted off.
Ooh, that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, and some guy's head explodes in the background, but
nice.
Yeah, there are other scenes where some guy's heart gets ripped out.
Hey.
And they made Lego sets of that film, so I guess you can be suitable, like you can stay suitable for kids while introducing some elements of mature aspects.
I want to know, what's your opinion on using blood in Brick films?
I think it's fine, really, because if you want to make it as realistic as possible, everyone bleeds, and if you just have people getting bashed up with no blood, it kind of does lose that effect of
Sometimes.
realism. I know a lot of animators do use red clay for blood. Do you use it?
No, I don't. I personally don't think it looks great as blood, and plus I just have never really needed to use blood in my brick films. Like, I can go without it. Otherwise, I'd probably key in some pre-made blood.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. But sometimes some brick films do use bits of blood, but it kind of looks a bit fake.
Play-Doh.
Not Play-Doh, but use the keyed in blood.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, some of the World War II brick films I've seen, they use I think they use some sort of food coloring or something.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
I know Linkin Pop is one of those people who uses blood all the time because he's always killing off characters. Damn you.
Yeah, more savage than George R.R. Martin.
But I must give two examples of like brick films that use blood. You've seen Forest Fire's Captain America 3 Nazi Zombies.
Yeah, that was
that one's very violent, I guess.
Yeah,
especially for a brick film. But does that take away? Could you take that seriously as a brick film? Or because it's like Lego, it's a kid's toy.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't expect brick films to be violent.
About being a kid's toy, it's not a toy. It's a highly. I forgot the quote. Never mind.
Yeah, it's an animation medium.
Yeah, there you go. But sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. So, a lot of people, when kids do look up these videos, they see Lego and see it as a video that they can watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with forest videos, they are kind of the threshold of what people expect to be or for kids. Because some of the language he uses in those videos
Yeah.
Some of the themes as well. I mean, I think in the in his latest one, Lego Batman
Oh,
Returns, just Batman smoking some reefer on the roof.
Yeah. What a perfect brick film, yeah.
Yeah. But he's an amazing animator.
Yeah, the visuals in that film were great.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure about the plot though.
But I think I think it's possible to include mature themes in brick films. If you have a disclaimer at the front, not a
Mhm.
disclaimer, a warning
Yeah.
at the front of a video that is saying, yes, there will be some swearing, some violence, proceed at your own risk or something, or
Mhm.
not recommended for children.
Mhm.
I think that is warning enough, and if people choose to watch past that, then
Yeah.
it's their choice.
Yeah.
Because I am developing a Batman film, which I'll probably talk about later,
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
and I do want a certain character to violently kill these two police officers.
Violently kill.
Or not.
There you
I don't think it'll be like
Kill them to
completely.
death. There you go.
Yeah, it'll kill them to death. It won't be completely gruesome violent, but it will be a very realistic violence that I don't think I've ever tried before. And I do want I am thinking of writing in some swearing into that film.
Yeah, because you want it to be more
Yeah,
realistic.
because realistic, and also I think when characters swear in films, it does add weight to what they're saying.
Depending on what the situation
Yeah,
is.
yeah, depending. I mean, if you're just gonna be swearing for swearing's sake, then
Cough Deadpool.
yeah, it can work in a comic situation. I mean, if you've seen Mrs. Brown's Boys and that the swearing every time, a character swears, it's done in a funny way.
Okay.
But in Logan, when there was swearing, it was done in a serious way.
More realistic.
Yeah, which is kind of the direction I want to take with my films,
Mhm.
like the Logan style, where everything was extremely realistic.
I love the opening scene for Logan. It's
Oh
probably
yeah,
one of my favorite openings to a movie.
yeah. Just, but the violence in Logan was done in a way that was extremely realistic and
Brutal.
didn't hold back, which is kind of what I want my Brit films to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be making films especially for kids, because then I do have to hold back a lot.
Yeah, you want to be more creative.
Yeah, but I also don't want to have to really go all the way, real violent, Saving Private Ryan style violence, or
I don't know
Game
if
of
you've
Thrones
seen
style.
the latest brick film from Jack Filmer. It's his last Batman episode. Oh, same as DT. But there's one scene where a character's head is completely smashed,
Oh wow!
and there's actually like a lot of, well, not a lot of blood, but it's supposed to be blood. There's a lot of, I guess, Play-Doh blood. But either way, it's very, I guess, violent.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line between gruesome violence and comic violence.
Mm-hmm.
I think comic violence in brick films is quite common.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen, I mentioned it before, Aurea Studios' Batman series.
Just murdering the cats. Just come on.
Yes.
I'm a cat too, so that killed me.
That violence is comic violence, so you kind of just accept it. But when it gets to gruesome violence, that is quite real. I think that's when people start to be wary.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we don't see many Brit films like that, and it's good. It'll be good to see Brit films that are more for mature audiences, because a lot of the animators are, in their teens,
Yeah, adults.
and they do know that.
And then again, kids watch this too because it's a product that's more aimed to kids, so you got to be careful there.
True. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason that you can't make Brick films for kids. It's probably what most people will be doing, but I think we should be seeing some more mature films.
Or maybe
I mean,
comedy.
Heroes of the 501st, I know the ending will be a bit more of a mature ending.
Hoo-hoo.
It won't be, but also at the same time, I do want to keep it suitable for kids because kids are the target audience for Brick films.
Yeah.
But as I, go on with my channel, I do want to go more, have more mature films, more violence, maybe more swearing, more adult themes, I mean, I think although there are so many Brick films out there that do deal with the issues of drugs and all that, so there are a lot of adult themes in Brick films, but it's masked behind the fact that, in the literal sense, these are movies made out of toys.
Yep.
And kids will be watching. At the end of the day, kids will be the target audience.
Yep. You're right.
So you do need to be suitable, but, you don't need to be just catering for kids, is kind of my point.
It's an interesting topic. Should we move on? I think we've...
Yes, we could go on about these topics all day.
I could as well. What's next? So we won't have the spotlight this week.
No, probably have that.
Next
let's
time.
see. Yeah,
Depending
next
on how
episode.
Successful this is.
Yeah.
All right. So, our Brick films. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one for me. Let's go with you first.
Okay, so at the moment I'm procrastinating. I mean, working on Heroes of the 501st, episode 2, and I was meant to be finished filming yesterday, but I had other things to do.
Sure you
and hey, my uni models aren't going to make themselves. I had to build trains and all that.
Build trains out of what, Lego?
No, we weren't allowed to use Lego. They actually said no Lego. And the class like, aww. I think everyone had the same idea.
You should probably leave that class as soon as you can.
Yeah. They want us to experiment with other materials, I guess.
So what would you... Oh, I think we're getting a bit off topic.
Yes.
I was about to say.
It's kind of like my brick filming career, actually, getting off topic a lot. So, Heroes of the 501st. So, I've decided to work every 2 months now, like for an episode. So, hopefully, episode 2, I mean, I've only got a few more scenes to film, so that hopefully can be out this week or next week. Probably next week,
Okay.
if I do, put a lot of effort into it.
Awesome. How long is the episode going to be? Or what are you expecting?
About the same time as episode 1. I mean, it's not long, but there is a lot of work involved with the visual effects, animation, and all that. Because I'm also experimenting with this episode, I'm experimenting with color correction as well. So that's taking time. Just trying to get the right, scope of lighting and all that, because most of the episode is inside the Separatist base.
Mm-hmm.
So I do need to lower the lighting.
Don't make it too dark, though.
No, that's what I'm. It's what happened with my Batman: The Dark Knight unfinished brick film.
Ooh, even better.
I did, yeah. I did lower the lighting settings on my camera, and that makes it almost impossible to see. But if you change the lighting settings in post production, you can still maintain control of how much you want the scene, like how much light you want on the scene.
Yeah.
So pretty much Heroes of the 501st, last episode will probably be released, I'm thinking October this year. That will be episode...
I'm going to quote that. I'm going to use that against you if you don't mind.
Yeah. Hold me against it, yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully... Episode 6, the final episode, will be released around October, November sometime.
Awesome.
Well, did I say November, December? Huh?
No, you said October.
Oh,
Said October.
try to, weasel my way through that one, but
And tell me about your Batman idea, unless you haven't got anything else.
oh no, got I've got a little bit more to talk about Heroes of the 501st, but can probably go into the Batman film because Heroes of the 501st really, at the moment, a lot of it is in development still. The future episodes, I've written episode 3, and really, it's gonna take more of a Saving Private Ryan turn, kind of thing.
You said you didn't want it to go Saving
Oh, the violence. I don't want to go, into that. But like, episode 3 is heavily influenced by the final battle of Saving Private Ryan.
Okay. Awesome.
In the style of the fighting that they're using.
Oh, cool.
But, I also am trying to take some inspiration from the Clone Wars TV show,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to make it a lot more different than the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah.
Trying to think, well, if we were to if we were to see the Clone Wars in real life, not everything is black and white like the TV show does make it out to be. You got the good guys who are the clones, you got the bad guys who are the droids. The clones always win.
Like Rogue One, I guess.
Yeah.
Shows
Yeah,
both sides.
Now thinking about it, it will be very similar to Rogue One, even though I did write the outline for the episodes way back early last year. But the ending of Heroes of the 501st does reflect Rogue One in a bit. Also, I am also going to experiment with a lot more different techniques, cinematography techniques, lighting effects, camera effects, all that sort of stuff. And I do want to I'm thinking going back to do Brit films need to be made only for kids, there might be one gruesome scene in Heroes of the 501st. But I mean, it's going to still be borderline suitable. I mean, I don't want to give away anything, but
no spoilers.
No spoilers, nah. I mean, how many people would care if I spoiled a Brit film series, though? That's the question. So I think we'll move on to the Batman film then. So I've had this idea for a couple of years now, actually. I think almost 2 years I wrote the first draft of this idea to do a Batman film that would kind of kick off a potential Batman series.
Series.
Kind of, but not an origin story that everyone sees. It's kind of already an established Batman with Dick Grayson as the first Robin. Already established that, and they are in their prime, Batman and Robin.
Okay. And
the first story is kind of will be it will be a typical Batman film in the sense that there will be the Joker as a main character, and there'll just be Batman and Robin fighting the Joker. But I'm hoping that the way I present the story will be a lot more unique.
Yeah.
But I think if it does lead to a series, if it does get the good response, I'll probably...
What style are you hoping to have it, like more the DCU type Batman or Dark Knight, or maybe your own style?
Well, it's kind of influenced, I think the Joker will be a mixture of the animated series Joker and the Dark Knight Joker.
Yeah.
And the fact that, the animated series has a very kind of comical air about him. He does things all as jokes.
Definitely not Suicide Squad Joker.
No. Well, we barely saw him.
What Joker?
Yeah. I mean, kind of like the Arkham Joker too. Like, I think I want there to be a mixture of all the Jokers from, Batman history. Just my favorite elements of each Joker. So he will have a very, clown style to him, but he will also have a dark style that we see in the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
while Batman himself will probably be more based off the Arkham Batman.
Sure.
And Robin will be, based off his 60s, 50s, 60s version.
Mm-hmm.
But also I do want to kind of get rid of that Robin air about that.
Yeah.
No, the one that Jonathan's created.
Oh no.
I do want to go a complete different direction from that. I want to make Robin look cool. Even though how hard can you make how cool can you make a character look when he's a kid running around in like
Yeah, underoos.
a bathing suit? Yeah.
Underoos?
I don't know. I mean, I think in the comics they were shorts. They always called him shorts.
Shorts, yep.
He's pretty much running around in a circus outfit.
There you go.
So I don't know how cool you can make that look, but I'll try.
Go, Robin. Shut up, Robin.
Yeah. Originally, the first draft of that script was like Jonathan's Batman. That changed completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to those when they
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah. But I'm hoping for the video to be about, I don't know, it could be about 15 to 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So it'll be a long video. But I just want to spend a lot of time in that video with the cinematography.
Yeah.
So that probably won't be released till about this time next year.
I'm going to quote you on that one.
Oh no. All those quotes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of what I did in high school. Me and my friend, we decided to log everything our psychology teacher said. So we pretty much got this document. I still got it of all the things he said. Like, and you take it out of context. No, not what he promised to do. Just these anecdotes that he'd say or things that he'd say, and you take it out of context, and it looks like mad ravings. But I must confess, I used that to study for my psychology exam in year 12.
Sure.
So on to your brick films, I guess.
Ooh, this one's a good one. There are no more brick films. No, I've kind of been... How do I say this? I haven't touched my Lego in probably 3 months.
Well, I had to clear my studio, so...
Yeah. But, I was on summer break in January, and I was trying a few things, animating, and then eventually I kind of got to the point where I was uninterested, or just couldn't make something that I was happy with. So, and then school came along, and then I've had no time to animate, so I've kind of been thinking of ideas of what to do when I become interested in brick filming again. So I've got 3 ideas that So I've got Deadpool 2, which is actually nearly finished. I've got the script done, basically. Wait, no, nearly finished as in the script.
Is this the one where the ending might be like similar to it, like it might parody kind of the Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman kind of thing, or
maybe that's not a. But yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be much bigger than Deadpool 2. Deadpool 1 that I did back in February of last year.
Hey, we got a comment on our video.
Oh, what is?
I don't remember subbing to this channel, but I'll take a listen. Lego Lorax.
Well, there you go.
You just got to shout out Lego Lorax.
There you...
Yeah, so go on.
I did not sub for you. No. Then I've got this Ninjago short that Jampot Studios and I wrote, and we're hoping just to do a couple more changes, and then that's probably the next film I'm going to make. Some more visual type film,
Okay.
and a lot of ninja fighting.
Frozen Lake films.
Oh yes, definitely like that. No, then last thing. This was I think this might be too big for me to do, but maybe a Dunkirk trailer recreation.
That would be amazing. I'm just putting it out there. If when they release the next trailer,
Mm-hmm.
just focus on recreating that.
It depends on how hard it is, because I think one of the
Yeah.
you need a lot of minifigures, I guess, and a lot of water.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how I would make the water into Lego or whatever. It's very hard.
What you could do is, I've seen it done before. I think Michael Hickox did it.
Mm-hmm.
Where what he did is he had the plates just move over and like kind of create crashing waves. Just every frame would like move like a stud, so it kind of did look like waves.
Yeah. I know, it sounds pretty tricky.
Yeah.
And tedious.
It's got Tom Hardy in it. I didn't know that.
It's got Harry Styles in it.
Oh yeah,
If I
the one.
get that.
Have you seen?
Instead of guns, it'd be Styles. I'm going to get those Styles.
Oh no.
Blow up my channel.
Just have you seen the comments on the trailer, the first trailer?
Is that the one where it's like, is the only reason why you're going to watch this film just because?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. And everyone's, what happened to his hair?
No, but in all seriousness, that looks like a very good film. I want
Yeah,
to
it
watch
does.
it probably the second day it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, it's got Christopher Nolan, Tom Hardy. They both work together on Dark Knight, you know.
Anything with Christopher Nolan's usually quite good.
Yeah. I mean, there was Interstellar.
I haven't seen a bad film from him. Ever.
Well, he worked on Batman vs Superman.
Oh. Okay, maybe that's one where he's gone unlucky, I guess.
But I think he was on there as a producer.
Yeah.
He didn't direct it.
I wonder how much say he had.
Man of Steel, he worked on that.
Man of Steel wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't what I was expecting. But
I mean, I loved it when it came out because I was, what am I this year? Probably 11. There you go.
I was 14 when it came out, and I never saw it in the cinemas, to be honest. Because I saw the trailer, I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. Then I saw it on DVD a few months later.
Oh. Yeah. It was, I think I like the action and the music, so that really sold it for me. But now, I watched it the second time. Plot isn't great, but I still really like it. I don't know why.
I mean, yeah, it's a good origin story for Superman, I guess. If you like looking at it in the DCEU perspective, for that style that they're going for, I guess that was a good origin story.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But I do think they should have done a Batman solo film before Batman vs Superman.
Or
That would have freed up the movie so much.
At least do a Justice League film before it, maybe. Depending on... I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't think we... Now that I think about it, BVS wasn't really... I don't know, it didn't really help the universe, I guess. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, I don't know.
When you look at it, it kind of got them all to meet, but we only had one solo film before that it didn't, unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
yeah,
where we saw like, I think it was Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk films, all before Avengers. We saw them all existing in their own worlds, and they're brought together, and we've already seen their characters develop, so their chemistry was a lot more believable, if you know. And their, like, the way they acted together was relatable because we've already seen them in their own universes.
We've gone quite off topic.
It doesn't matter.
True. Anything to avoid me talking about prick films.
Yeah, as I was saying, if they did a Batman film before Batman vs Superman, and it doesn't have to be a traditional Batman film. It could, if they want to keep that Superman story where he's, demolished Metropolis and all that, it could just be Batman investigating Superman.
Yeah.
And that would free up the whole first half of the movie of Batman vs Superman, and instead of calling it Batman vs Superman, call it World's Finest, because they didn't fight for that long.
It's not really the main plot, is it?
Nah. I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed, because they go in there expecting this massive battle, but it turns out it was just a big build-up. I mean, I myself didn't mind Batman vs Superman. I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Rip.
But I think a lot of it is too rushed. Because they are trying to compete with Marvel, I guess. But
Anyway,
so I guess
the Justice
back-
League trailer looks pretty good. Well,
I haven't
so
seen
far.
the Justice. I've only seen the Aquaman and the Flash clips.
Those two are definitely the greatest. Cyborg looks terrible. That's what it is.
Yeah. All the characters are generic. That's what it looks like to me anyway. They all look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to do the DCEU, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have done
Let's think how far we've gone off topic, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh well, people probably want to hear this, you know.
Sure, no, go for it.
Yeah, I want to I would have started with Man of Steel, okay? That was fine, you know, leave that unchanged. Then I probably would have done a Batman film, then do a Batman Superman film. If they're fighting or teaming up, you know, it doesn't really matter. And leave Wonder Woman out of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if then go on to Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and where's Greenland? No.
Rip.
I think instead of Cyborg, they should put Green Lantern in there, or Martian Manhunter, but yes, that's my
Cyborg
opinion.
is
Yeah.
not cool.
I guess they're trying to do it up.
Cyborg's pretty terrible.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to go by the
That's my opinion.
Yeah, Cyborg was never my favorite character. Like, I never really liked his character in a way. I mean, he probably worked well in the Teen Titans, but I think they're just trying to model it off the New 52 universe. Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess back to brick filming.
Yep. That's it.
Well, we got the reviews.
Oh yeah. Oh, the reviews. There you go.
Okay, that's another hour we're gonna be spending now.
All right. We are already nearly 50 minutes. There we go.
Well, this is gonna take ages to edit the file.
Tell me about it. Okay.
My computer's gonna crash when editing the audio file.
Hang on. Got a copy and paste.
Yeah,
All right.
Clone
so we're
Training
going
Center.
Clone Training Center first.
Do you want to start or?
So yeah. It's good. It's a classic and it's good. There you go. That's my review.
Yeah, it really is I think a lot of people. I was reading the comments yesterday, and a lot of people said this was the first brick film they ever saw. You know, it does have that nostalgic feel, even though I only discovered it in 2013. It came out, I think 2009. Did it come out? Yeah.
It came out in 2009.
Yeah. And it was just this video that must have... I wasn't on YouTube at the time. I was only 10 years old, so...
Hang on, was I 7? I was 7. Huh.
Yeah,
I'm pretty young.
I don't know. I guess when I say I was 10 years old back then, it makes me feel old.
It makes me feel young, even though... I don't know. Doesn't matter.
So it's got, 7 million views, and this could possibly be one of the greatest brick films I've ever seen.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. One of the greatest.
because it just it doesn't rely on fighting, which a lot of Brit films do.
The pacing of the film's great as well.
Yeah.
And the comedy's spot on.
Oh, the comedy is great.
I just love that moment. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that or not in the background. I hope it's not that loud.
Not really.
Okay, good. So there's one bit where he's asking for the names and he calls out Gus.
Yeah.
And then you just hear this crazy scream, and then that music, and I was just like, oh boy.
My favourite scene in that Brit film is when he's interviewing Gus.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's like, get off the table, and just drags a chair. That is my favourite part. When I saw that, that cracked me up so much. But I think Fancy Pants did go in with sequels, kind of. He did the Halloween and the Christmas ones.
He's now got the series, the Clone Training series.
But if there was an episode to follow on from the original Clone Training Center, that it had so much potential. If they were to do another episode that length, so much potential to really just create this amazing series. And there were so many characters in that film, even if they only said a few lines. The character development was so good that it created you kind of had a backstory for them and a potential to develop their characters even more in future episodes.
They're great characters. It's like, I also really think Fancy Pants' voice acting for all the characters he does is great. Especially
Did he voice all of them himself? Yeah. Did he voice all of them himself?
I'm not sure. I have to rewatch that to see.
Because apparently he did say that he's voicing all the main characters for the main series, so maybe.
Yeah. Either way, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the animation is really well done. The only problem I have with it, and this is more of a nitpicking issue, but the fact that there are stormtroopers and clone troopers. I try to blend them all at once.
Do you think that was intended?
I'm not sure. I mean, he did say that he didn't have enough clones to fill.
Fair enough.
But I think that always put me off slightly, that the fact that there were clones and stormtroopers. No stones, but...
No stones. Right.
But they should create a hybrid trooper and call it the Stone. Looks exactly like...
Order.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
I think that was the only issue I really had.
And it's really good to see how... Oh my god, my voice then. It's really good to see how Fancy Pants' animation has changed over the years as well.
Yeah. But also it stayed similar, that it doesn't look completely different.
No, it doesn't. It actually looks like really good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the camera he's using, apparently it's just a handy cam.
Yeah, you can...
The quality's pretty good, but...
It's only in 480p.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. So... but I guess back then that was high def. Well... Not really, but, that was good quality back then for YouTube.
That's all I really have to say about Clone Training Center.
What would you give it out of 10, though?
Maybe an 8 or a 9. I don't know, maybe...
Probably a 9. There's just one other question I have with the Clone Training Center.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered this, and I wonder if maybe you know or something, maybe you read a comment or something. Is it set on Earth or in the Star Wars galaxy?
I'm not sure.
Because it implies it's set on Earth, but it's with Star Wars characters.
Yeah. I'm gonna sound like a noob for saying this. So Earth's not in the Star Wars universe at all?
it's not explained, I guess, but there are all these theories out there that Earth is in the Star Wars universe. I mean, have you heard the E.T. theory?
Oh no.
I take it you've heard of it then?
No, but I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'll explain it anyway. So, there's this theory that Earth is part of the Star Wars universe because E.T. is part of the Star Wars universe.
Of course.
So E.T. if you've seen the film E.T., you know that E.T.'s stranded on Earth, and the part where they're trying to get him out of get him to, I think it's the bicycle or something. I haven't seen that film in ages. And it's Halloween and everyone's walking around dressed up. He sees some kid dressed as Yoda and points to it and says home. And then so that got everyone, thinking. And then in episode 1 or something of Star Wars, you see in the Senate, you see all these ETs in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
So it then comes up with this theory about why Earth is why we don't see any people from Star Wars coming on Earth. I think there are these people that actually think Star Wars is real and wonder why we're not seeing Jedi fighting in the skies above Earth.
I don't know, too complicated. I'm moving on.
Yeah. So the next brick film we'll be reviewing is
Lego the Cryptic. Oh no, I can't say that word.
Epistle.
There you go.
A mystery short in 4K. Now this is by our Remnant Media Studios.
Yeah.
And this, I've never heard of this brick filmer before, and he's only got 122 subscribers.
Very underrated.
Yeah, amazing brick film. It's very slow brick film, in the fact that not much happens. And I think you introduced me to this brick film. I'd never seen it before.
It's great. I can't remember how I found it. I just saw it one day and I was like, wow, this is great. It's very different to your typical superhero brick film that you see a lot of.
Yeah,
so it's very refreshing.
Yeah, these days, it's all superheroes. But wait, is my mic okay? Am I sounding?
Yeah, your mic's fine.
Okay, because I thought because I try to load
I'm
something in
not...
4K and
I'm just worried that you're not recording, and then all this time we're just talking.
No, I'm recording.
Okay, good.
Yeah, if I hadn't been recording, oh, that would have been.
Yeah,
so back to Lego the Cryptic Epistle.
Yes.
I really like how it is the subtlety in this movie, that it's not really major. There's no major breakthrough, mind-blowing elements in this film. But it's
the
just
cinematography.
The cinematography is amazing, but the way it's done is that you don't, actually say, "Oh, that's pretty cool." It's done so subtly that almost feels like it could be a real film.
Yeah, exactly.
And my favorite thing is in the background you see the fireplace or the candle or the rain on the window.
Yeah.
And it looks the detail was so well done, and I think that was all done in post, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, it looks...
It looks so real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like at 2:52, there, I can see what you're talking about. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's just that, going back to the visual effects, that is a good use of visual effects.
You're right. It's not in your face.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
It's just, and it just makes the film even more amazing than
Mm.
it already is. The voice acting is really good. I especially like the Barons.
Woohoo. Jolly good day. Have some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my impression.
It did have a very Sherlock Holmes feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. I remember having a look at the composer who composed the music for the film,
Yeah.
and
Jeremy
he talks about
Weir.
how he wanted it to sound like Sherlock Holmes. So I guess he was intending that feel.
Yeah. I think what gave it away was him smoking that pipe. So that was a, really well done brick film. And also the mouth animations, I think.
Yeah.
The way that the moustaches actually moved with the mouth.
No, it does.
Yeah. Just that, it does look slightly jarring to me. There was something slightly off about it. But it does really bring the characters to life.
It does.
It doesn't, you start to forget that these are just plastic.
I think that's a good topic
figures.
for another episode. The use of mouth animations in brick films.
Yeah, we need to write down all these ideas.
Yeah, definitely. God, the
So,
lighting's great, isn't it?
Yeah. My only problem is in the detective C. Auguste Dupin. I don't know. I'm probably
Yeah.
butchering that really. Dupin. I don't know. I did French in primary school and high school, and I can't pronounce it.
Well, there you go.
But the only problem I kind of had was Dupin's. I'm just gonna call it Dupin. It sounds more French.
That guy.
The detective. In his hotel room.
Mhm.
The hotel room looks quite it looks very the set I don't really like for the hotel room. I think it looked more like a dungeon in a castle than a hotel room.
Yeah, or maybe. Okay,
Unless he was staying in a castle.
maybe it is a dungeon. You don't know. They never said anything. Or maybe they did. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
So I was expecting him to stay in some grand. I think it's set in Paris.
Paris.
At
Gabriel
the beginning,
France.
it's got it. Yeah, Paris, France, 1851.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think that if they did some, ritzy, I think, was it late 7, Georgian architecture, building hotel
Yeah.
room, that would have been
Those candles, though,
oh yeah.
they're great. Even though they're clay, but
Yeah. At first, when he was I thought like he was like setting the piece of paper on fire at first, and then I see that little clay bit with a candle. I first thought it was not a candle. I first thought it was like something else.
All right, of course you would.
Yeah. If you get, if you understand what.
Oh, damn it! Really? Yes.
No, it kind of looks a bit like a funky cigarette.
Sure. But anyway.
Well, that went off topic.
Yeah.
So that brick film, really well done. Go check it out. Subscribe to Remnant Media. He just is such an underrated brick filmer, and
Yeah.
he does amazing brick films.
Definitely.
I'd probably give that brick film 9 out of 10.
I'll give it close to 9.5.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too generous, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I am.
I
like it.
It does stand as one of the best brick films I've seen.
Yeah, very, very close.
Clone Training Center is my favorite, but this it can hold a candle to Fancy Pants, Brotherhood Workshop, even Keshin or Forest.
Yeah.
it just really well done. I don't think I've seen cinematography in a Brit film like this.
Yeah, definitely. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
And it's only got 530 views.
Wow.
No way.
It's got no dislikes though.
Yeah, of course it doesn't get any dislikes. It's perfect.
Yeah. Unless there's that 0.5, % of people out of the 10 that didn't like it, according to your rating.
Rip. Alright, okay, I'm gonna move on, at least I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
This one is it's back to superheroes. Lego Batman Shadows of the Night, Episode 4 finale by DT98 Films.
So, DT98 Films, he's done this Batman series. When was the first episode released?
Let me just check. There's episode
I'm checking
2.
It now. Season 1.
Episode 1, here we go, found it.
Pilot.
It says, and he makes these films really fast.
Wow.
I've talked to him before. He's one of those guys, like, he just spends probably 2 or 3 days or 7 days straight just making them.
Wow.
And he gets them out really fast. He did that with the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. He just did it in
Yeah.
No, it was a Spider-Man Homecoming. I think he did it less than a day.
Yeah, and it was pretty good for,
very good at getting stuff out fast.
Yeah.
The first episode was July 30th.
Yeah.
237 days ago.
Wow.
It's been nearly a year.
And he's already finished the season. It's been about a year since I started filming episode 1. And I haven't even released episode 2 yet, so
I gotta be careful. I don't say anything bad about Darren, because he's an awesome dude.
yeah,
Darren's
he's
very good at trying to make his films very cinematic.
Yeah, and Lone Clone even worked on it too.
Yeah,
and I think the story of this whole overarching season is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it does all link together. I mean, I kind of found the end of the end of episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
I found it left on a slightly lower note than I was expecting.
Yeah, I
was
agree.
expecting a huge ending.
Yeah. Because it's all been building up to this big moment. That's unfortunately just...
But I do like, at the very end, that end scene.
The twist?
Not the twist, but on the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the final scene on the rooftop. I'm not going to say who's on there, but...
Batman, Commissioner, and Harvey.
Well, yeah, I mean, there were some people that probably wanted to keep it spoiler-free, but oh well.
Get wrecked.
But I think that really ties into what could be a great second season.
Yeah.
If they were to take on the have you read the Long Halloween comic?
No.
That was one that really emphasized the relationship that Batman had with Gordon and Dent, and that they would go. This was during his early days. They would go and hunt down the mob. The mafia, organized crime in Gotham.
Yep.
And one of the most iconic elements of that was meeting on the rooftop with the bat signal. And I think that does really reflect the this end scene reflects that. So I'm hoping that the second season does go into that whole organized crime thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something we never see in Brit films. We're either seeing the Joker, Riddler, or Bane as the
Red Hood
villains. Yeah. And which is good because Red Hood was one of the earliest villains that Batman fought in the comics. And for those of you who don't know, Red Hood wasn't one person, it was actually a bunch of people every night would play the role of Red Hood to give him an invincibility kind of air about him. And one time, the Joker, before he was a Joker, needed money, so he played the part of the Red Hood. Unfortunately, fell into this vat of chemicals and became the Joker. So that will be cool to reflect in a future season. That Batman fights the Red Hood and then does push him into the chemicals, and he does become the Joker.
Ooh, I know something, but I'm not going to say anything. I've got a quick point.
So you know what DT98 Films is up to?
Oh, kinda. I do, slightly. I won't say anything.
Really, there's... Yeah, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, one of my nitpicks I have with this film, there's like, throughout the whole series, Darren likes to use the same voice actors for lots of characters.
True.
And I think I don't know. Maybe it's convenient, yes, but sometimes it just sounds out of character for what these people are, maybe.
Sometimes, but I guess with Brick films, I see a lot of it in Brick films, and it's kind of unavoidable, I guess. Even Jonathan's Batman series, like especially I think JLA vs the Avengers, that had multiple people voicing the same different characters, so it kind of does detract from the whole thing, but it's so common that I kind of just dismiss it in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I voice all the characters in Heroes of the 501st, and it is
Except
far
for
from...
Lone Clone.
Oh, yeah. Apart from the Admiral. Yeah. But he only had like 3 lines, so...
Yeah, sure.
I think, that was one of the issues I kind of had with it. I've found the voice acting a little bit, off. But I don't think I've seen a Brit film that has amazing voice acting.
Yeah.
I mean, all Brit films have that. I mean, Fancy Pants are probably one of the exceptions.
Sure.
But all the others, it's very common for Brit films to have kind of, I don't know what's the right word, unexpressive voice acting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And especially it's quite hard to find voice actors that like they do it seriously.
Yeah. But I do love the scene where he is absolutely where Batman just goes in there and just into this room and just absolutely, takes out this whole room of goons.
Yeah.
That scene is really well done.
Hang on. I'm just going to count how many seconds it is. Because I think I might have found a bit short. I'm just going to double check. 1,
Sure.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. Oh, it's only about 15 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, it's only about 15
because
seconds.
It's really well done. And I think it was DT98. I think he did this really good tutorial. I don't know if it was him that did it, or here we go. Yeah, he did the it was DT98 Films that did the Brick film tutorial for the fight scenes, animating fight scenes. And I think he animates his fight scenes really well.
He does.
And I think it's just that some of the fight scenes in this film were amazing. I mean, I did find the animation slightly choppy at some times.
Yeah,
I think.
And sometimes I felt the color and the choice of angles that he used.
Yeah, I mean, there was, I think, one scene that kind of felt choppy, which was, I think it was in the Batcave with Alfred. I think that was the only scene I kind of found a bit choppy. But I'd be more worried if the animation was, like in the fight scenes, was choppy, really. Because that was the best element of this film, and it did not disappoint at all. That was really well done. And it, especially the scene with Zsasz and Batman, the final fight between them. It didn't, he went all out almost, like with the violence.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, I think I'm getting close to my time limit before I have to head off.
Oh, yeah. We better start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
Just one last thing to say about Shadows of the Night. I think we went real off topic with this one. I think it is really well done. Great finale, and it does leave things open for sequels and second seasons, third seasons, whatever. And it does like really well with the fight scenes. The only issue I kind of had was some of the animation was slightly choppy, and in the scene where the cars are driving through the city looks slightly underdeveloped, kind of like the buildings look kind of fake.
I think it's a bit. Well, compared to the city, I don't know.
I think in early,
there, to say the least,
in earlier episodes, it looked a lot better. I think
more developed.
Yeah, in this episode though, it looked just like a bunch of walls. I mean, I can't really say much because my earlier brick films used to have that.
Yeah, but
I think if you're doing a Batman film, you really need to develop a city.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the building.
Yeah.
And I think we can go into that about set building and all that later on. But I would probably give episode 4 a solid 7 or 8 out of 10.
I'll give it 4.20 out of 10.
Oh no.
There you go. Abenosaurus. It's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh no.
Sorry for bringing memes into this.
Yeah. Well, I think that was really the great ending for a season, and I really can't wait to see what's next.
That's all
so
the reviews.
Yep, that's the 3 Brit films we've reviewed. We'll probably have in a playlist reviewed Brit films, and just so you can feel free to check out which videos we reviewed, and check them out yourselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks for listening to our first podcast.
If you could leave us some some criticism, I guess, or your honest opinion on how you thought about this episode.
All feedback is greatly appreciated.
Don't roast
Do you want
us.
to hear? Do you want to hear more of something or less of something?
Should we fire one of the hosts? Yeah.
Should we bring on another host from time to time? Well, we are thinking of bringing on some special guests at times to host an episode with us, probably.
Indeed.
And if you have any ideas for any Brit films that we should review, or Brit films that we should feature in a spotlight, feel free to send us an email.
Let us know.
Because we're going to run out of Brit films soon, because they're not made in a day unless you're working for the 24-hour contest.
Yeah.
So our next episode will be the 16th of April.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's 2 weeks from the 2nd.
Well, okay, there you go. Be there, or be square, or be circle. Yeah.
So, yes, thanks for listening.
We must be
watching.
Off now. In the land down under. Eat those Tim Tams.
Oh no. It's about lunchtime
One-
now, so
Every time is Tim Tam time.
yeah. And also, for any of you people listening and you have Twitter, follow Clive Palmer. You know, some quality political entertainment right there.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening again. You can't thank you enough.
We can.
And well, we can, yes.
No.
So and just don't be afraid to leave any feedback down below. You know, we need all the advice we can get.
Yeah.
And don't compare us to blockheads.
Please don't.
Otherwise,
We're
we'll
sorry
feel
for
bad.
copying you.
Yeah. Very sorry for copying you, but no,
Just had
what
to
can you
steal
do?
your idea. Joke.
Nah. We'll support them if they support us.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so don't compare us to blockheads because we're very different.
Yep, very different. All right. I'm done.
We better wrap this up.
Yep, there you go.
Thanks for listening and see you next time.